Since late 2021, I've been throwing myself into all sorts of challenges, and I want to give you the tour of the last 3 years. Back in 2020, the pandemic hit, and suddenly we are all gifted this unexpected chunk of isolation. Stuck in my room, bored out of my school, I started poking around at new hobbies. One of them was music. I dusted off the old bass guitar, just messing around, that somehow snowballed into an interesting rhythm which led me to drums. Living alone in a bigger place, the thought of it hit me, why not just get a drum kit? No neighbors downstairs to complain. It was impulsive, sure. That's how I ended up with a $50 used electronic drum set, a real piece of junk. Yeah, the condition was crap, but hey, it's only $50. In September 2021, I decided, screw it, I will fix this damn thing. I never soldered it before, never touched the circuit board, but there I was, hunched over this broken kit. February 2022. Finally, playing on the damn thing, looking like a total beginner. Year 2022 was really about planting the seeds of finding myself again. I randomly picked up the fencing. For rack strengths, I started playing Dance Dance Revolution, broke the pad, and ended up modding that. And of course, I delve into rhythm games like Drum Mania and DTX Mania with the drum kit I fixed in late 2021. This video is filmed at February 2022. It's me practicing, the basic of drumming while I'm still working on my drum kit, just to understand the drums better. Naturally, playing like a maniac meant the kit started falling apart again. Plus, I got greedy. I wanted to mod this cheap piece of junk to handle double bass and more cymbals, which it was never designed for. So I snagged a used acoustic drum set for $80, tore it apart, and decided to convert it into an electronic setup. Then I thought, why stop there? Let's use the leftover parts and build my own drum module from scratch. Building a mega drum module? Way harder than I thought. I had zero soldering experience, zero PCB knowledge, zero clue about electronic signal processing. Just converting the snare, flow tone, and cymbals was tough enough for me, but building the brain? Keep it short. I finished the soldering whole entire building at around late 2022. I started designing a case, crammed all the components in, and finally, in the middle of 2023, the Mega Drum spluttered to life. Now, the Mega Drum is just a pure MIDI controller. To even check if the triggers worked, I had to figure out digital audio workstations. I started with GarageBand, then jumped to Ableton Live as I got deeper into tuning MIDI signals and sound setups. Learning Ableton Live with all its unfamiliar tools. Building that Mega Drum wasn't just about modding an instrument. It felt like pushing my absolute limits. A conflict novice who barely knew which end of some soldering iron to hold. Suddenly trying to understand PCB circuits, teaching myself complex signal processing. It was a constant stream of the failures and frustrations, but I didn't quit. When I finally got them, Mega Drum working, it wasn't just a satisfaction. It was this deep sense of, holy crap, I actually did that. It just so feels good. Persistence and passion could get me through almost anything, giving me the guts to tackle other fields without hesitations. Then I learned about VSTs and MIDI mapping. Great. To fix that, I need to deeper understanding of MIDI tools. So down the rabbit holes of MIDI signaling I went, which accidentally knocked me into fringes of audio engineering and producing. With these newfound skills, I decided to try making drum chart for the game Clone Hero. My first brilliant idea. Use a Python for audio analysis to automatically transcribe the drums. Yeah, that failed spectacularly. So, plan B, manual sequencing. It was a harsh reminder that AI like ChatGPT or Sonat can't solve anything. You still need to master the basic tools. So, I buckled down and learned Guitar Pro and Logic Pro. I practiced by grabbing tabs from Songster or watching YouTube covers, converting them into Guitar Pro tabs and editing them. That's how I ended up charting as the first slam dunk theme song 10 Fits Die Zero Khan. As a back user in a charting, It's a mess. Whole the charting world is built on Windows dependencies. With lots of strugglings, I finally made the chart. After making the chart, I got the reach to try audio analysis again, isolating just the drums. Local machine couldn't handle it, so I tried Google Colab. Debugging in a remote environment, another nightmare. So I back to manual work. Finally, after countless detours, I converted the Lovelock Logic Pro chart to MIDI, made the clone hero file, and played the drums along with my own creation. At this point, you'd think that I would achieve many initial goals like gaming, drumming, cardio dancing. Done, right? Nope, human greed. As my drumming improved, I got hypersensitive to the latency in my modded drums. Even tiny timing issues in the DDL pad started bugging me. Any sane person would stop. Me? I started planning the next round of mods. The drum and DDL modding saga was just this endless stream of the unpredictable problems throughout 2022 and 2023. Eventually, I hit pause on the hardware tinkering and decided to focus on the software side. I revisited the failed audio analysis for drum transcription. This time, I had partial success, extracting instrument-specific audio info, hi-hat, snare, kick, within a certain BPM ranges, and automating a text to MIDI conversion. I even tried using this extracted MIDI data to generate drum chart. In early to mid 2024, I got obsessed with making K-pop drum charts. There was immense satisfactions in creating something tangible entirely on my own, without anyone's help. Remember, I never had formal drum lessons. I never had formal audio producing lessons either. I just couldn't have any access to it. This was a self-taught producing tools and audio setup skills. This whole process sharpened my ability to analyze drum beat patterns and extract them, skill that, weirdly enough, helped to later with the problem solving, like figuring out how to remove lines from my notebook drawings. This whole music production journey kicked off by fixing a broken eardrum during lockdown in 2021. Took me places I never expected. Looking back, 2022 and 2023 were intense period of self-discovery. Juggling all this with my day job, I feel like I made huge strides, especially through autumn 2022 and up to June 2023. The later half of 2023 and early 2024 were about, diving into areas I wouldn't have dared to touch before. Unfortunately, personal stuff hit pause on things after June 2023 and also May 2024. But this whole journey, starting with modding drums and DDL pads for gaming, bore unexpected fruits. In late 2024, I focused on my graduation school, revisiting foundational theory and mathematical modelings in data science. Even though the automatic drum transcription failed, the attempt forced me to comfortable with Python and understand audio signal processing better. That software exploration unexpectedly paid off in my 2024 data mining class when it came to understanding and applying machine learning algorithms. I even ran a little experiment with using Python to tell if notebook drawings had lines or not. Didn't nail it perfectly though, but it's alright. It did show that, traditional machine learning models outperformed generated ones in terms of accuracy for that specific task. More on that another time. What am I working on now? Taking all those doodles I made in 2023 and 2024, turning them into web animations and web-based graphic effects, maybe. Since mid to late 2024, I've been messing with front-end tech stacks for this, and also working on some new styles for my personal website. As a design marketing engineer, I've done plenty of web design and dev, but managing the entire pipeline myself, that's a fresh challenge. Going forward, I will be thinking more about the code-based visual expressions like kinetic typography based on my past designs and drawings, and bunch of, just junk doodles. Making web animations from scratch, creating assets, storyboarding, sprite work is all new territory. I'm planning to explore and mash together tech like green socks, processing, 3JS, and WebGL shaders. This ability to analyze and visualize data through could sparkle an interest beyond static images into dynamic web animation and interactive graphics. I'm envisioning projects that combine video creation using tools like Remotion with the data visualizations and probably web-based storytelling journalism. Ultimately, it's just this desire to fuse my art, tech, and music to explore entirely new forms of expression that's driving my goals for 2025. Looking back at the journey from 2022 to late 2024, yeah, there are things I wish I'd done differently. But honestly, I'm kind of amazed at how much I've grown in fields I wouldn't have dreamed of touching just 3 years ago. And this was all self-taught. I plan to keep learning, keep challenging myself, keep carving out this weird path. Right now, I'm recording narration for the first time for this YouTube video. Usually, I just shoot something quick and upload it. That's how I done through the TikTok and Reels. Those are not existing anymore. But anyway, trying to make longer form contents. Right now, what I'm doing is just all new. Probably a bit clumsy for sure, but I wanted to put my story out there. In 2025, the plan is to take all these seeds planted over the last 3 years that I have been through: music, instruments, programming, data analysis, visual design, and all, nerdgasm oriented doodles, stuff like that. And I just want to fuse them all into something completely new. I am thinking interactive art performances, things that go beyond just watching and listening, that engage users sensorily. I don't know, maybe kinetic type graphic built with a web tech, animations driven by data, something like that. I don't have a solid plan yet, but I think I am getting there.